I think it's right here.
Yeah, I got his ass. That's the same color as blood that was on my hand.
Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack addict. Drunk Tourist Podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
And I'm your other host, Jarrell from Portland, Oregon, aka Drip City.
Drip City, a new one. Okay.
Got a bunch.
What we talking about today, bro?
All right, today we're talking about just celibacy and just semen retention. Does it have any real effect? They say scientifically it does, but we talking personal experiences. Like, does it have any effect? I guess I can start off.
Yeah, Kyle, like you. Yeah. You're alone in that.
Yeah, I guess I'll start off because I mean I only did it for a couple of weeks, but
that's
like
still amazing.
Yeah. But I feel like it makes. I feel like my mind was clear in the sense of like, because like they say like it helps like with creativity and stuff. They say whenever you horny and stuff like that, like sexual transmuted energy and stuff like that. Like if you're horny, like put that into something creative or productive and stuff like that. So I feel like at those times where I'm like looking at like, I might scroll by a picture of like a girl looking good and I'm just like, damn, niggas start. And then you like, damn, I want some pussy or something. I want to beat my dick or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, man, let me get up and do something, like, you know what I mean? And like, because since you like, that you're trying to like withstand from that, like, it's a lot easier to kind of like just toss it away and try to like, let me get it out of my mind because I know I'm a break if I don't like get it out the way. So I feel like in that sense, like it helped me be a little bit more clear, and I feel like in the sense too, it helped you be a little bit more like, I don't know, it made sex a little bit more exciting because it's kind of like I don't know when I'm gonna get something again, and it's kind of like makes it a little bit more like thrilling because it's like the next time it's gonna be good because you kind of have been holding off.
Was it good?
I won't really say it was.
Let's hear about that, because that's what I guess the only reason I haven't done it, because I've heard about it. I've heard a lot of people say you should do it. Woo woo. But I'm very logical, so I'm always like, all right, pros and cons. And the main thing is like disciplining your mind, which I'm big on. But that's the only pro that I ever really hear. Everything else is like very like personal. People are like, well, for me personally, it did this. For me personally, it did that. And they're usually things that I already feel like I have. Yeah. So it's like, I'm always like, ugh, you telling me you felt more confidence? Like, I might have too much of that. Yeah, so like, right. I'm not gonna get
I won't say it made me feel more confident. Like, I know they say like, women can like feel like the pheromones and stuff like that, and they can feel like you
see like stuff like that. Like,
but my thing is, I feel like stuff like that can't really be proven, so it's kind of hard to say if that's facts. But I felt like I was getting more looks, but I'm like at the same time, it's like, is it just in my head? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I was in an environment. Maybe I was more in environments around women, or maybe I was just looking good on these days. Like, there's so many different variables that can maybe change.
Or maybe you noticing these women more than ever because you ain't getting no pussy.
Yeah,
like that's what I be thinking
exactly
about.
What it is.
Like,
yeah, but it made me think about it more though because I'm not getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going from somebody who's used to getting it and then going to like not getting it at all. Like
everything.
I felt like every time I had a dream, like I was fucking in them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, I think I even had a wet dream one time.
Damn, word.
Yeah, I swear.
I miss those, bro.
Like, the thing is, I think now that I really think I had one, and I never had those. Like, I'm a vivid dreamer. I dream about like random weird stuff, but I never dream about no type of intimacy. But like, I think it's just because it was so on my mind, and then at the same time, it made me think too, like, damn, like maybe I'm obsessive about sex, which is also kind of a good thing to take a break from it because maybe it was like maybe I'm thinking about it too much. So then like now when you kind of get that feeling, like you like, damn, like trying to touch myself, or I'm trying to go get some pussy, you kind of think like damn, like I've kind of been feeling like this often, but I'm like, but it's like, are you denying, like, or is it just me denying my natural, like, hormones? So, I mean, I don't know, like.
It's like, it's interesting because on one hand, I'm like, I respect the discipline.
Yeah, for sure.
So like knowing you can control like, oh, I'm not gonna do this even though I want to, I respect that. But whenever somebody's like, oh, semen retention or celibacy or whatever, especially men, like it's a little different with women because I feel like sex is a little different. But like for men, whenever men say it, I be like,
you got burnt, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I be thinking. I be like, yeah, that boy got that woo woo woo. He got that woo woo. Either that or it's like, or a nigga just like wasn't getting no pussy. He just like, I'm gonna start saying this.
Right,
like
right.
I feel like people just just say that. Like,
and it's almost like an incel. You know what an incel is? Yeah, like they not getting.
They hate women.
They're not getting laid, so they're like, oh, I hate women. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have good luck with women type shit. So I feel like they could be like that too. Like, well, you know, I'm celibate anyway, because it's kind of like a way of saying like I'm not really.
I don't want the pussy.
Yeah,
I don't even want the pussy. Like, yes, you do, bro. Yeah. We all want the pussy, bro. Everybody around this motherfucker want it.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that too, but it's just. I don't know, like, cause I feel like after I did it and I did have sex, I was kind of like, it didn't make me think like I need to do it again, but it did make me kind of think like.
How was it when you finally got that thing off? You was like, oh, get this monkey off my back.
I just felt like I almost felt weaker in sex. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How? Like,
just because like the build up is so much more, so it's like, you know, I guess you might feel like, okay, I can bust and maybe keep going type shit, like just because you're just like, damn, I'm making up for it. I'm just so horny type shit. But at the same time, I feel like it's like I feel like it makes you fucking what do they call it?
Pre-cum?
Not pre-cum, premature, not
premature ejaculation?
Yeah, like I feel like it gives you that because it's like
that shit fucking
because the motherfucker ain't had his pecker touched, nigga, in fucking a month, nigga. That shit gonna explode, nigga, when a girl finally get hold of it. Yeah, so I feel like
they touch your leg.
So I feel like
hold me.
Like some American Pie shit or something. Fucking get a hand job. Yeah. So I feel like it was kind of like that. Like
that's funny.
Like I feel like I wasn't like I feel like I wasn't as in control of it like my sex, just because like when you having sex often and stuff like it's like you used to the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? I don't know if this counts as semen retention, but I have like had sex for like a couple days and not nutted like on purpose. Like, all right, I'm gonna try to like just to like mentally control my nuts. Like, you gonna finish, but I'm not gonna finish.
Right.
You know, like I did that for like a week one time, and then I felt better at the end because it was like, oh, I control this thing right now. Like, you know what I mean?
See, something like that, I feel like it makes a little bit more sense. But I feel like it's hard when you don't touch yourself at all, though, because it's like you're not really.
I just don't get it.
It's like you're not training yourself to like, I don't know, like. It just, but I feel like when I didn't do it, like after I had sex and kind of got back to my normal lifestyle after that, I was kind of like, okay, like I kind of got something from that. Like, I guess what I could take from this is like, you know, like just don't have sex as often, you know what I'm saying? Or just don't masturbate as often. It's not necessarily like you don't have to do it at all, but just control it more. Like just like be more on top of like how often you do it. That way you still get that feeling of like, because it does make sense when they talk about like, when a man is always thinking about sex, or when you're always like kind of doing something like that, like that's kind of on your mind. So like whenever you talk to somebody, like a woman or something like that, like it's like it shows in like the way you talk to them, because like when you looking for just the pussy, like you're gonna bend like the way you're gonna bend the tolerance of what you're willing to tolerate. You're gonna like go after ones that's really not even in your caliber, just because like the end game is just like getting some. So it's like it almost changes your character in a sense. But I feel like that's only for people who just don't have control, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, now if you really just feel like you're just out of control, then yeah, it might be good for you. But like somebody who's just getting pussy, like I don't think you really need it. Like if you still can be like, you can still turn it down, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess on one aspect, like I get it as far as like energy is concerned. Like if that's something you put a lot of energy into, like especially, I think more than sex, I think like masturbation. Cause I mean, like sex, it's easy to get, but not as easy as like jerking off. Like you literally can do that anytime, anywhere, whenever you. But like sex is like, you know, even if you have it your way, you still have to have timeline for it. She gotta be free. You gotta be able to pull up, but she gotta be able to pull. Like even the niggas with the most access, it's not literally, you know, it's boom, all right, 20 minutes or something. Like it's not like, man, I'm horny. Let me go in this bathroom. Let me whatever. You know what I mean? So I guess not ejaculating as far as like energy in that sense. Like, all right, every time I get horny, if I have a goal, I'm gonna focus on this. Like, all right, I'm trying to achieve. I can see that working. I feel like most of the time when I hear about it from most people who are doing it, as far as semen retention, they don't really have a real goal. They just like, it's for the discipline side of it.
And it's probably, no, go ahead.
And I was just saying, I still respect that, but it's just like, What's the end goal?
And they're probably, and the reason that, and the thing is, they're probably not even telling you deep down what their real reason is. Like,
that makes sense.
You know what I mean? The dude could be addicted to porn or something and
That
just
makes
not
sense.
telling you. Like, he could just be whacking the shit out of himself. You know what I'm saying?
Hurting
Like,
yourself.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or he's just getting to the point where he's looking at something like, bro, I just, you know, I literally jacked off 4 times a day.
Looking at yourself. Cause honestly, every nigga done been there before.
Nah, for sure.
Every nigga done been there before.
Yeah,
And
I was there
like,
last night. You know, I was just like,
nah, okay.
Nah, I'm talking shit. But like,
relax. We just dapped up. No,
but yeah, like, nah, for sure though. I just dapped up. But like, nah, like, but like,
control.
Yeah. So it's like some men, they probably just not admitting that, you know what I mean, that they have a problem, like, you know, like masturbating too much, or maybe it might not even be too much, it might just be too much in their mind, you know what I mean, that they're feeling like they're wasting too much time, or they feel like or they just feel like they not reaching a particular type of goal that they got, and they just feel like not fucking or not beating off is gonna help that. Like, I mean,
like I've done that before, where I stopped masturbating for like a month before.
Yeah,
because,
I mean, that's solid.
I just was like, damn, I can't go to sleep unless like I fuck or I get a nut off. And then once I peeped that, I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna at least stop jerking off. Like, I'll fuck or whatever. But
so what's the longest time, like, recently that you went without just like not like ejaculating at all? Do you remember?
The longest time?
Not like ever. I'm talking about like recently, like, or not. I guess you could say ever. Like, when's like the last time you was like, man, I'm going like a minute. Like, it's been like, but like not just because you was just busy and you just wasn't doing it. Like, we talking about you was like,
that's what I'm trying to think about.
Like, have you ever for real
like just been like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I guess because like, if I'm real focused, I'm real focused. But I guess like if I have something I'm trying to do and I'm really like, I'm not focused on nothing else but this, like, I've probably gone like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks or something. But it wouldn't be on some, I'm not trying, I'm trying not. It's just like, no, like, I'm focused. Like when I have a goal, like, I'm really like, it's do this or die.
Right.
So like, I won't even be thinking about nothing else. You know, like, even sex would be like on some damn near like, she fucking me now. Cause you're like, nah, look, I know this gonna help you stressed, or you know, whatever. Like, I know how you get, like, here. Then it's like, oh, okay, I feel better. You know what I mean? Or I got to get back to whatever I was doing. But, like, just like, I don't know. Whenever I hear dudes just like, oh, I'm not doing this, you know, because, like, women. Because I feel like a lot of times men say it in a way almost like women be taken from them. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it because they be taking my energy. It's like, what? Like, I just don't, I never felt like
your
that.
Own energy,
you know
or
what
something
I mean?
like that, yeah.
I don't know. And I do so much to stay disciplined that I don't be thinking of, like, sex is not like a uncontrollable thing for me.
Right.
Because I have a girlfriend. Now, before having a girlfriend, there were times when I was like, all right, I need to take a break. Like, this is getting kind of ridiculous or whatever. But it was never like no whole month in that. Like, a week, I'd be like, damn, I'm a new man. Like, I'm disciplined, you know.
Like, what? Yeah. I'm trying to think, like what do you think, like, the like a negative would be of like a man, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, like,
I think you could get comfortable being alone, and I think that's a negative too, because I think, like, you talk about incels and men that are bad with women or whatever, like, most of them just aren't comfortable.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, they want to be so comfortable alone, which is a good thing, but they do it for the wrong reasons. They're not saying, like, I want to be comfortable alone because I want to love myself so much that I can love on somebody else when we meet up and match. Like, some people are like, I want to be comfortable alone because I'm going to be alone. Don't nobody want me. And it's weird to me. So when people are, like, pushing that, oh, like, just you and you, is like, that's good on one hand, but I feel like the people who run to it usually are the ones who, like, they need to be running to some information. Like, get out there, talk to people, get comfortable being rejected. You know,
right, and I feel like people use that too because they're like, oh, well, you know, I'm just trying to be for one person. I'm not trying to be out there. And I'm like, you don't necessarily not have to have sex to do that, though. Like, you don't need to use, like, celibacy or retention, like, as a excuse to kind of like, oh, I want to take it slow with people, because you could just not be doing that and just not really just be messing around, but just like
date and not have sex.
Because I feel like some people are like, well, the people do celibacy because they're not just trying to fuck everybody, and I'm like, it's not even about that, because my thing is, like, you can still date somebody regular and get to know them before having sex with them. Like, it isn't necessarily like, Like, it doesn't have nothing to do with celibacy. It's like, just give yourself to a person that you deem worthy. Don't really like give yourself like, doesn't mean you necessarily have to give yourself like put yourself under like almost like a restriction or like a punishment in a sense. It's kind of like, because I feel like when you do that, it's almost like giving yourself a restriction more so than just taking control and being like I'm just not gonna do it with somebody I just don't feel for like that. You know what
like
I mean?
To me, it's kind of different when a man saying, when a woman said. It kind of depends on the reasoning, and they both can be bullshit to me, my personal view, depending on the person. Because sometimes like a girl will say like, oh, I'm celibate, I'm waiting to marriage, I'm waiting to this, you know. And it's like, that's fair. That's fair that you should have certain standards, but I don't think it's fair when they're like, let's say a woman's like, she don't tell a nigga right away. They go on a date or something. They like each other. And she's like, well, I'm going to be celibate to marry. He's like, okay, well, you're not the person for me. And then they're like, oh, that's messed up. That's not right. You should be willing to not have sex if you really care. It's like, why should I have to change my wants and needs because your wants and needs change? And then it'll be something like, a girl will have a child, right? She'll have a baby. And then she'll be like, but the next dude I'm with, we not having sex to marriage. It's like, why he gotta suffer for what the last dude did? You know what I mean? You don't have to say like, I'm not doing this. Like, you just like be like, oh, I'm not comfortable with it now, whatever. And if it happened, it happened. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's a different story. But when it's just like, no way, and people like, well, I'll wait. I'm always like, that's stupid. I just don't get it.
Like, yeah, that's kind of weird because it's like, why? I don't know, because it's like the mistake wasn't that you didn't wait to have sex. The mistake was you just had sex with somebody that you didn't even really like that, or that you weren't really involved with all the way. It's like, that's the problem. The problem isn't.
Or you had unprotected sex.
Right, which is the opposite. You know what I mean? So then you mask that with just the fact that I'm just out here having sex, period. That's like somebody would get burned, like, man, I gotta be more celibate. And it's just like, no, you gotta stop fucking everything without a condom. You know what I mean? And be a little bit more, you know,
intentional.
Like, yeah. Instead of just out here home for no reason.
Nigga done hit 13 girls, don't know which one burnt them, and then he like, yeah, I'm just not having sex no more. It's like, bro, we know you got burnt, bro. Just go get the medicine. Hopefully it's something you can get fixed, and then, you know, come back in the game late in the fourth quarter. Like, some people, I just don't like when people aren't being authentic. They aren't trying to say what their real reasoning is. You know, man or woman. I just think the best way to go about it is to be real. Like, what do I want? What do you want? Does it match? Like, I feel like all these issues, they fall away when you fuck people you like, or you fuck with people you like. Like, people be dating people they don't even really like.
Yeah, that's
And then they be dealing with all this gray area of, we arguing, I don't know if I'm even comfortable yet. It's like, deal with somebody you like. Like I've had a lot of like sex after the first date, and I would like be talking to this with women I've dealt with or something. Like, say if we had sex on the first date, and they be like, I never do this. And I'm like, it's not weird. Like, if you like me and I like you, why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
And they like, well, I don't want you thinking. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
right. That's that. Yeah, and I feel like that's when you start letting society kind of like start interfering of like what's right and what's wrong and what's the standard of how I should live my life, rather than just going off a natural feeling of what feels right, you know, in your heart to do so. Because I don't have some situation like that where someone's like, yeah, I don't do one night stands. Like, it's just hoish and stuff like that. I'm like. I'm just like, what is hoish? You know what I'm saying?
You just
like,
you haven't liked the nigga that much. Like, I hate when people say stuff like that, and then it's like, well, what was the best date you've been on? Or what was the most fun? They be like, a dude took me to the movies. It's like, well, that's why you ain't never had a one night stand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You haven't met anybody where the connection was like strong enough and the you know, the intensity wasn't met like on the level to where you're just like, because I'm like, because I don't know, when I felt like when I was growing up, I felt like everybody had a one night stand before, because I'm just like, well, you ain't never met nobody where you was just like all over each other that night. You just was like, man, I'm on this, like, you know, it's like, I was like, damn, that sucks. Like, you ever met anybody that you met like on the scene of that much intensity with, to where you just like wasn't even thinking about it, you just seen each other, and after that, you was just like in each other's eyes, like, oh yeah, we both know like this is about to go down tonight.
Or even if y'all experience something together, like, you know, like if I'm talking to somebody, like if I meet somebody and the energy there, like I really want to. It's not like, one, of course I want to fuck, like I'm on that, but I also want to get to know you. Like, it's not just oh, if I don't get this pussy, you worthless to me. Like, it's honestly, like, I want to understand how you think, what you want, what are your goals, all of that. So it's like, let's say if you an art major, you go to school around here, we end up talking, you an art major. One of my boys somehow got a key to a museum or got a lot of art in his crib or a little studio or something. Like, oh, I'm hitting, hey, can I use the art studio? Woo, woo. And they're like, yeah. And next thing you know, in an hour, we got our own studio. We alone, we painting. Now we paint each other's bodies, whatever. We end up fucking.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's a whole experience. That
and then when you say it like that, they're probably like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
It's like, oh, I do it.
It's like, we're not talking about you just meet a motherfucker and it's like, hey, you want to fuck? Like,
but I feel like that's how most people
that's how it
are though.
Yeah.
So true. I get why most people are like, oh, I would never, that's hoish. But it's like, you judging somebody based off your experience.
And my thing is, I can't even like I couldn't even have a one night stand like that if I met a girl and she was just like super fast and was all like I want to get fucked tonight type shit, like was just on me. Like I'd probably be like,
I feel like she burning it.
Yeah, it'd just be weird.
Like,
I'm like,
not just like burning it, like the out of here. Like she got that woo 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 woo. Like,
cause it's like,
she got them breaks.
You're right, cause it's like
over with.
Cause it's like you ain't even like nothing even clicked yet. It wasn't even like no chemistry. It's different when you kind of had some chemistry that led to it a little bit, cause you're like, okay, we vibing, and then you kind of got a chance to actually get to know the thoughts of a person before doing it. Cause I've never had a one night stand where it was literally like we didn't get to know each other. Like, like there was some kicking it going on prior before that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even like a situation where I don't get to chase something. Like that's kind of like, that's all the fun. All the fun is this. The whole time we enjoying each other, wondering like, is this gonna go this way? Like, is it gonna end? And like the excitement of building up to that climax, that's what makes it fun. Like, not knowing if you're gonna fuck makes it fun. Like the whole guarantee, like, oh yeah, here. It's like, I wouldn't even enjoy it. It'd just be like,
yeah. But shit, man, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. You're talking about semen retention and celibacy and all the rest of the
obviously we don't know anything and we just talking in circles almost, but we have opinions on it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not like a right or wrong kind of subject. So I mean, it's kind of just more so like, I mean, everybody, you know, has a different opinion and different outcome by doing it.
Let's make it simple. Yes, do you feel like it'll make a man better or worse? Yes or no?
No. But you can leave your comments below and tell us what you think. The people out there who's been celibate or been who done semen retention, let us know how it made you feel. Let me know, or let us know, I'm sorry, about your experience and you know what you think about it. You can make sure y'all follow us on Drunk Tourist Podcast on all social platforms. Follow me personally at King of the Globe on Instagram.
You can follow your boy at Hoes in the Pocket. I'm about to change it. And you can follow our joints at Drunk Tourist Podcast on everything. Also, everybody need to work on stacking their orgasms. Learning how to stack orgasms.
Stack orgasms.
Stack them. Stack them motherfuckers. All right.